Hey everyone, my name is Kobus from luxuryproperty.com and welcome to the first episode of How I See It. And how I see it is from the perspective and experiences through dealing with my buyers and sellers in my respective communities, and also looking at developments, what's happening, why are people buying, what are the opportunities out there for current investors and maybe end users as well. So what I'm seeing currently in the Meadows community that I service is that if you've been keeping an eye on the market for the last 12 months and you've been living in Dubai for more than 3 to 4 years now, you would have seen a dramatic increase in property prices. And today I had a conversation with a buyer who has a requirement, 3-bedroom property he wants it at 4 million. Really, really tough to find those two types that he wants in that price bracket, right? So I had a conversation with him and said, listen, how long have you been keeping an eye on the market? What do you think are the trends going forward? And then I shared with him my experience in terms of what the trends that we are seeing and why the market is up there. So Gulf News consistently shares information with regards to why property prices are hiking and why the market price is the right price, etc. So I'm going to quote from here, Instant Decisions. And this was released this week. Cash buyers are the primary market drivers at present. They do not need to depend on the three-part property valuation to go ahead with a transaction. If they're interested in a property, they are ready to pay the price that is advertised. Buyers who want to present offers will not be taken seriously, and mortgage buyers who get a valuation that is below asking price will either need to make up the difference somehow or risk losing out. And that, quite frankly, is spot on. We want to be brusque, we want to say matter of fact, but we don't want to be rude. But I've been experiencing this with buyers making offers that they think is a fair market value, but it's a seller's market at the moment, and sellers do not really have to negotiate at all because there aren't real secondary options available except those 2 or 3 that are in the market for that specific criteria and for that buyer. So as a buyer, you just have to pay what the market's asking at the moment, or wait to see how it's going to play out. And wait to see how it's going to play out can go both ways. It could mean that you could be sitting on your money, your cash that you have, and waiting for the market to turn into your favor. And by that time, when it's inflationary, you could take inflation into account and your money would have become less valuable over time because you haven't really done anything with it. And this is a conversation that I had with a client today, is instead of waiting, because you know that you don't want to play this game where the property that you considered 12 months ago and now is probably between 600 to 1 million dirham more, and you don't want to pay that, am I right? And he said, yeah, he doesn't want to pay that. He wants to pay original price. So I said, the likelihood of that happening is a miracle. And I'm not saying I can't perform miracles, but it's going to take a miracle. Wouldn't you rather invest your money for it to make more money instead of sitting on it and waiting to get an opportunity as an end user? So he asked me what other options do we have available. The first one that I discussed with him was Sober Heartland. And the opportunities in Sober Heartland with their developments is astronomical. Especially the one that they just launched. They launched Waves, and then they launched a Waves Grand. And if you haven't asked the question, if you haven't been there, you probably won't know what I'm going to be sharing with you right now. So the first launch of the first building, I'm going to take the 2-bedroom pricing into consideration for this exemplary measure here. So at Waves 2-bedroom, the size of this 2-bedroom is 1,207 square foot. And they asked a premium of 1,905 dirhams per square foot. Now, Sober, Heartland, and in their designs, in everything that they have done, they have excelled. They have a proven track record since 2014, started developing in Dubai. Since 2014, they have delivered pre-handover expectation date. They have delivered every building before the date that they have set out to deliver it, which is an incredible thing to hear, an incredible thing to witness. I went to the site today, I went to the showroom, and it's quite mind-blowing, to be honest. And I took a picture of this one building that they're busy doing up. It's at 27 levels now. It has 34 levels, the whole building. And at 27 levels, they are 2 years in front of the delivery schedule. 2 years. I have not really heard of such a timeline being exceeded amongst developers in this city. So their model is to not launch 1 million buildings at the same time, but take good care and due diligence with the handful of properties and buildings that they are constructing and delivering to the market a really good quality. I'm not going to go into the sober Heartland history and where it all comes from and where it all stems from, but I can tell you the experience has been like nowhere else. I visited the site today and it was really incredible. So just to recap, they charged for the first waterfront building, and you'll be looking out onto a crystal lagoon. So I'm not going to talk too much about the amenities because it is quite amazing, but I'd love for you to experience it. But from a price point, they charged 1,905 dirhams per square foot. With the Wave Grand, they increased the square footage, and because they do the total opposite of what you'd expect a developer would do in Dubai, they actually decreased the price per square foot to 1,700 dirhams per square foot, and they increased the square footage by roughly 50 square feet for a 2-bedroom apartment. Now, if you take that into consideration, that is just over 200 dirhams per square foot. That from an investment point of view, you already win the day that you purchase this property. They've got a phenomenal payment plan as well, where you pay and put down 10% on booking, and then up to 30%, they will issue an NOC, and you can resell that property again, or just keep it for the full 5-year payment plan term if you wanted to. Well, that's what I've got to share with you right now. I'm going to probably attach a document on a link that you'd have access to download the brochure of Sober Heartland Waves and Wave Grand, and see for yourself where the position is, the location of these two specific developments, and what else in this big master plan they've got going on. Just to mention a few, there is a metro station coming up close by. It is waterfront apartment buildings. They've got the world's biggest mall coming up again. I think we've all heard of that, and so much more, and it's only 10 minutes drive from downtown. This is probably the closest villa community downtown, but no villas are available anymore. Multi-million dirham properties have sold out, and they've delivered, I think, up to phase 3 of this, also predate, and the others are due for handover very, very soon. So that's what I've got for you today. That's what I'm seeing from the buyer-seller perspective. That's what I'm seeing from an investment opportunity point of view. Hope it makes sense. There's so much more information to share with you to help you make an informed financial decision going forward, not just sitting on your liquidity, but having that money work for you up until a point where you feel like the market has either corrected or you have increased your capital to a point where you can actually enter the market at a more comfortable point. That's me, Kobus from luxuryproperty.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.